I'm going to tread as lightly as I can because who am I to disagree about wrestling with Bret Hart? Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kevin Zwicker from Fast Count coming at you. Before I get into this video, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the like button and subscribe. So Bret Hart had a 40-plus interview with Ariel Helwani. They discussed his match with Steve Austin being the first match to ever be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. He took time to shit on Hulk Hogan, which is very expected by Bret. But the main part of this interview that's going to get people talking is the part of the interview where Bret discussed his current feelings on the current landscape of professional wrestling. He was asked by Ariel Helwani if he still keeps up with the product. Bret says he tries to. He watches the pay-per-view. He keeps up with certain guys. But today's wrestling is more focused on promos and more focused on the cinematic aspect of wrestling and not the work rate. He discusses how he feels as if his era, the 90s, is the best era of professional wrestling. Name drops guys like Harley, Owen, Dynamite Kid, Bulldog as guys who produce some really good stuff. He discussed and named Roman Reigns as the guy who he thinks pays a lot of homage, and his work rate is something that he enjoys very much. And then he drops this little nugget where he says, it feels like a lot of guys are actors who are pretending to be wrestlers, and mainly that takes place in AEW. Now, there's a lot to unpack in all of this, right? And guys, don't give me too much heat. I acknowledged in the beginning, disagreeing with Bret would be like basically me disagreeing with Michael Jordan on a basketball conversation. I get it. But let's just discuss all the things that have been talked about recently and even through the past couple of years. Now, WWE, throughout the last couple of years, and even recently with Michael Cole on the Logan Paul podcast, you've had many higher-ups, guys like Vince, Triple H, and like I said, Michael Cole, discuss how WWE isn't just this wrestling company, you know? And Michael Cole said they haven't been a wrestling company in years. They tell stories. They are storytellers. They are cinema. We get that all the time. We see the Martin Scorsese meme all the time. Cinema. When we see this hot wrestling angle take place on WWE. And AEW is always discussed as this company who all they care about is work rate, and they have no stories. They just have matches, right? So it's kind of confusing and kind of ass backwards for Bret to say that about AEW and not WWE. Sometimes it feels as if guys who've had some form of connection with AEW in the past and then sign Legends deals with WWE or under Legends deals with WWE, it kind of feels like it's mandatory for them to take a shot at AEW at some point. And him discussing how he feels as if the 90s was the best era of professional wrestling. I don't know if you guys are hip-hop fans, as myself, but if you notice any type of discussion when it comes to hip-hop, whether you are somebody who is 20, 30, 40, 50, you always feel as if your era and what was popular when you were young is always the greatest. You ask me who I think the greatest rapper is, I'm going to tell you the guy who was the most popular or the hottest when I was through high school. Yes, you know, my guy Robin Lundberg, who I do a lot of, you know, collaborations with, he's going to tell you the best rapper is Jay-Z, right? Because that's who the guy who was hot throughout his life, right? So you're going to get multiple different answers. I'm not going to sit there and bash Bret on that. All those names that he mentioned have produced great matches that I've enjoyed throughout the years. And if you haven't checked out those guys' work, you should, because you're going to learn a lot, right? If you're a fan. But this interview was, like I said, I felt as if the AEW shot was a little bit unnecessary. I feel like there's people who are going to be cheering that on just because of it. But Bret is, if not the greatest in-ring wrestler of all time, is in the conversation. Him and Shawn Michaels are 1A, 1B, with Kenny Omega sneaking in, you know, slightly below those guys, in my opinion, as the greatest in-ring wrestlers of all time. So what his opinion says, man, what he says is his opinion. It's really hard for me to sit there and be like, you're wrong, Bret, when it's like he knows more about wrestling than I'll ever, you know, he's forgotten more about wrestling than I'll ever learn. But it's just kind of a strange conversation, and it felt a little bit unnecessary, and it, frankly, felt a little bit wrong, just in my opinion, right? But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What are your thoughts on Bret's current view on the professional wrestling industry. Do you think that he was on the money with his statements? Do you think that he was wrong? Do you think there was certain parts of it that he was right and other parts of it was wrong? Sound off in the comment section. And like I said earlier, guys, remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the like button and subscribe. I am Kevin Zwicker. I'm out.